prisoner takes advantage of the guard's sleep. He tears off a portion of white paper and pastes it on the door lock. With his fingernail he presses the shape of the lock's eye and draws it with a pencil. He rolls up another piece of paper and inserts it into the lock hole. Then he inserts a pencil and squeezes it into the lock wall until both ends of the paper are creased. The length of the key is measured. Now that he has the length he needs to know the shape of the key. So at lunchtime, his cellmate deliberately pushes over the food to attract the guards. While the guard makes a move on him, Jack quickly looks at the shape of the key and writes it down. Back in his cell he draws the outline of the key with a pen. The next day Jack takes the opportunity to pick up a ball and walks over to the guard. He looks closely at the key again. Whenever he gets a chance he keeps his eyes on it. After a long time, Jack draws the shape of the key by memory. The next step is to make the key. Every day the guards put the prisoner to work in the carpentry shop. When the guards aren't looking he hides a few sticks in sandpaper and shoves them into the bottom of a kettle. Jack tries to get the sticks out this way, but the guards check their kettles every time and demand the coffee be poured out and shake it twice. Luckily there's no sound of shaking, so he stuffs a rag in there ahead of time. Back in his cell he dumps out the sticks and starts to make a key. First he uses a file to make a groove. Then he polishes it with sandpaper to get rid of the burrs. He puts a layer of glue on the shank and bakes it in a lampshade. Then he takes out the drawing for the key ruler. He carves out the teeth with a file. After 3 hours of work, the first key is ready. Jack is eager to unlock the door. He inserts the wooden key into the lock hole, and the lock turns. Just when Jack is feeling very excited he realizes that there's another door. The lock of this door can only be opened from the outside. It's impossible to open the lock from the outside, so Jack talks to his partner. He asks him to make a key line. That day Jimmy is watching the stairway. Jack begins to test the lock on the outside. He keeps taking a file to it. After 2 tries it finally opens, and just when they are happy, the key suddenly jams and won't come out. In his panic Jack accidentally breaks the key in the lock hole just as the guards are coming up. If they find out they'll never get out. His companion is very nervous. Luckily the guard doesn't see him and leaves. After he leaves Jack rushes to get the rest of the key, but the latch wouldn't budge. At night the officer comes to lock the door. The lock is open. He tries to jiggle it a couple of times, thinking he'd forgotten to lock it. Without thinking he locks the door again. Jack hears the door slam and goes to sleep. He has to find a way to open the outside door as soon as possible.